On July 1, 2025, our Atlas system detected a comet, later named Atlas 3-1. So far, nothing unusual. But here's the strange part: this comet has properties not found in known comets, and its unusual motion has led many scientists to suspect that it is not a comet at all, but rather a spacecraft or an intelligent object under control. Welcome to the In Brief channel, and today we're going to talk about Comet Atlas. Let's get right into it. The truth is, there are several reasons to doubt it's just a comet. The first and most important is that its origin lies outside the solar system. Wait, Briefy from the start. Before you continue, you need to explain, how did they know its origin? Actually, the method is much simpler. It's all about the type of orbit. Here's the idea. If a comet's speed is balanced with the sun's gravity, it will follow a circular path. If we increase its speed, it becomes oval, or more precisely, an elliptical orbit. If we keep increasing its speed, like Halley's Comet, it will orbit the sun every 76 years. Some comets are much faster, with orbits taking thousands of years, but no matter how far they travel, they eventually return toward the sun and then drift away again. If its speed becomes extremely high, it reaches escape velocity, allowing it to break free from the sun's gravity. In that case, it leaves the solar system entirely, following what's called a hyperbolic path. The difference between a hyperbola and an ellipse is the angle, which tells you whether the comet will return or not, along with its speed. Since comets with elliptical orbits come from inside the solar system, but Atlas has a hyperbolic orbit, we're sure it's coming from outside. At such speed, it's impossible that it has ever orbited the sun before. In short, a slow comet will always orbit the sun. A very fast comet will make its first and last visit. From its high speed and its orbital shape, we know it's from beyond the solar system. Another reason for suspicion is its direction. Most comets orbit the sun counterclockwise, but Atlas moves opposite to the direction of the planet's rotation. Also, it had no tail like normal comets. These features led people like Avi Loeb, a Harvard professor, to claim it's actually a spacecraft. Time to respond. First, it's true that Atlas initially had no visible tail, but those were early images. Naturally, the tail doesn't appear when it's far from the sun. Recently, a clear tail has been observed, evidence that it contains water, which is strong proof it's a normal comet. Second, yes, it's from outside the solar system, but it's not the first such comet. In 2017, astronomers discovered an asteroid with a hyperbolic orbit. The same story happened with that asteroid, and Avi Loeb also claimed it was from an alien civilization, but in the end, it was simply a rock passing near Earth. Third, right now, Atlas is 670 million kilometers away from us. Its closest point will still be 70 million kilometers away, enough distance to fit 6,000 Earths in between. In other words, it's not heading toward Earth. Now that we know the comet's story, let's move to the main point: how people respond to the scientific explanation. Some say, even if it has a tail and is a comet, maybe it's an alien civilization hiding and spying on us. This brings us to the Fermi paradox, why we haven't encountered alien civilizations, and the dark forest theory. To put them simply, if advanced civilizations exist, the reason we haven't detected them might be that they fear other civilizations with powerful weapons could destroy them. So they hide to avoid being noticed. This also explains why some people think Atlas could be a disguised spacecraft. How to respond to that? You can use Occam's razor. When there are many explanations for a phenomenon, the simplest one requiring the fewest assumptions is most likely correct. Example: if you see an elephant and hear an elephant sound, it's not logical to say, "This isn't an elephant, it's a smart sheep inside a robot shaped like an elephant, making the sound with a computer." That's adding assumptions with no evidence. The simpler explanation that it's just an elephant is far more logical. Same with Atlas. If it acts like a comet, has the properties of a comet, and looks like a comet, then it's a comet, unless proven otherwise. The core of the story. They know it's from outside the solar system. They know which constellation it came from. They know its speed. They've observed its tail. And it's not on a collision course with us. Everything else is just from people wanting media attention. And that's it. Please subscribe to the channel, as your support helps us continue. This was about the Atlas-3 I object and why some scientists think it's a spacecraft in brief.